We're going to be working over here in this area. We are going to transform this area from the hot mess express it is now to a beautiful garden, and then we're going to transition it right into its fall look. And although it looks like, child, where, why, and who did this, it's not going to take us that long to flip it over. So although things have been slow in my garden this season for one reason or the next that I won't go into, now it's time to speed things up and jump right into fall hastily. Let's address the elephant in the room, and that is the weeds that is in this area. The sooner that we get all of these weeds pulled up, then we can move on to the next step, because it's not going to take us long to flip this area. From this to, nah, buddy. Yes, honey, yes. Whilst you might be thinking that this is the most underwhelming trio of containers that I have yet to present on my channel, there's something beautiful and amazing about terracotta pots. These terracotta pots have been used, they've been loved, they've naturally aged, and these are the containers that we're going to use, but we're going to combine them with something that's going to elevate them to the next level. It's going to push our terracotta pots from here and elevate it just a step up, and it's going to blend in with the area so effortlessly, and it's going to be absolutely amazing, and it's going to be a beautiful nod to what our fall show is going to be in this area here. So let's get them in their place. Now, I have a trio of 3 terracotta pots here. We're going to be planting them up, and it's going to be an easy way for you to start to slowly transition your garden from its summer look and ease it right on into what it's going to be doing for fall. So if we look at the color palette here, we have pink, we have purple, and we have that kind of magenta color here, which is absolutely beautiful. So in order to transition, we're going to have to use some of the same colors or complementary colors in order to layer the garden here. We're going to take a quick stroll to the garden center. We first have to pick up some soil because I am fresh out, and that is one thing that I hate to do, is run out of soil. So we got to pick soil up, then we also have to pick some plants up in order to do our look. So I'm going to take you all along with me. I know oftentimes I get asked about what type of soil I use, and truly, you all, really it just all depends on what I'm planting up at the time, what I'm using the potting soil for. And I will say this, regardless of what soil you use in your garden, you can still make it work. Honey, I'll go get the Lowe's brand in a minute. And actually, that's probably what we're going to go do. Go get the Star Green, plant that up. Is a selection of pansies that they have. So this variety right here is the Delta Pro yellow with red wing. Not going to work for us. They have a ton of yellow, so this is all yellow. And then we need some sort of purple. So this color right here, it would work, but we want something with the purple that's going to contrast the current purple that we have in that area. This is nice, but it's more of like a blue color. That's what I would call a blue. And then again, another mix, another mix, another mix, and another mix. So I don't see any here, and it looks like this is the only section that actually has violas and or pansies. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and head to the next area. Here's some down on the bottom, but again, it's still not the color that we're looking for, so we'll head to the next area. We made it to the next store, and we got orange, white, we have purple, which this purple is nice, but if you think about it, our Super Tunia is the same color purple, so we want something that kind of contrasts. We got yellow, we got a more like a burnt orange, like reddish color, and then we have a variation where we have more like a two-tone, but we have that yellow center, so this is nice as well. Scroll down, this right here is nice, more of a different variation than this pansy right here. We'll keep looking. Then we have a mixed, a ton of mixed right here. We have that yellow and that burgundy color mixed together. This is nice, but then it's going to introduce another color, which this is more, it's nice, but I think for what I'm going for, it's going to clash too much. So we definitely want to try to do something different besides that. Not only that it is more like white tone to there, I don't mind about a little bit of white in there. Like for example, it was down here this way. Where are we? Right here. So you see how the white is more of a background color, it's more settled, versus the purple takes the backstory. So we definitely don't want the purple to be in the background, which that's nice, that's a look all in itself. We'll keep looking. We have the yellow here with kind of like that brown undertone, which is absolutely gorgeous. It definitely screams fall. This is a total look by itself. The only problem is we don't have many of these, but let's come back. Then we have more burgundy and then more of the white. This is actually gorgeous, to be quite honest. I love that color, but it's too much white for what we're trying to do here. Now, if we go here, this is cute, but they only have 2 of these. And it is introducing more of that burgundy color here. So now we got a decision to make. Do we want to go here this way with the colors that we currently have in that fountain area? Or do we want to stick more along the lines of purple? So that is our decision. What do you guys think? Drop down in the comment box. Let me know. Here's another purple like we seen at the other garden center. But again, to me, this screams blue. It screams lavender, which is gorgeous, but it's definitely not what we're trying to do for this arrangement here. So we are back to this. The only thing that scares me, let me find the tag, because a lot of times it's a mix. So this is the Colossal Neon Violet. It's a pansy. We'll put that back in there. I definitely don't want to go with no type of mix. All right, here's the Colossal Neon Violet. So we have 2 of those. But you see what we have here, more of that white. Or do we want to go this way right here? And let's see, how many of these can we find? So we got, this is a 6-pack right here. And we at least have 12 of these. Now we have to try to find some more. That's absolutely gorgeous. I really like that. But then I like this too. This is a Colossal Blue with blotch. Which way we going, y'all? Drop down in the comment box. Let me know. We definitely know this purple is good, but it's out for right now. It's totally out for right now, but it goes, it speaks. But for right now, we need to decide between which pansy we're gonna go with. This definitely would have been the way to go, but we only have 12 of these. And I really don't want to mix them. Not for the look that I'm doing right now. I really don't want to mix them. So against my better judgment, well, I ain't gonna say that. We are going to go with, hold on. Let's go back down here and see if we can actually find, nope, again, this is a mix. Let me see. Yep, this is a mix right here. It's a mix. I can already tell because you see it got that yellow flower inside of it. But that's what I need. That is exactly the one I need. So we're gonna have to go this direction down here. We're gonna have to pivot a bit. And what we'll do, ooh, it's so hard and tough. And all of these are, yep, completely different. So we're gonna have to go with this one. That's absolutely gorgeous, and it's more of a contrast than this one right here. But really, this is the one we need. Look at the purple. Fits in perfect with that Super Tunia Royal Velvet here. So we'll go with a flat of these. We'll set this to the side. Actually, let's go check out. And just to be on the safe side, I am going to get one more to be on the safe side. So, I want one with some color in it. You know me and my instant impact. So, we'll get this one right here. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Set it down here. Alright, y'all, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, child. Hold on. We're gonna do this like this, and then grab this like this. And we're on. Alright. I thought that before we head outside, I figured we would start by getting all of the components together. On the shelf here, we're going to be grabbing this out. Now, this is concrete, it's very heavy, but this is just one of the pieces that we need to collect. We also need to collect another one. Now, it's beautiful. I love the detailing in it. It's definitely going to elevate the containers that we're going to be using. Like, I just love like the ornateness of this piece. It's just gorgeous and beautiful, and I'm excited that I'm going to get to use this. But in order to get this out, we're going to have to move some things around. So I'll take and just set our pieces of terracotta off to the side, because the last thing I want to do is break something. Now, in order to get this piece right here, I'm going to go ahead and get my gloves on. Since it is kind of rigid and rough, and you know, let me get my gloves on so it'll be easier to lift this piece up. I'm thinking that the smaller one will come and bump up right here along this container here. So we'll move this forward. This one right here, we're going to place kind of like in this area to where it kind of catacorners both of them, and then we'll have the other pot, we'll nestle that in once we get our concrete bases in place, and everything is going to play nicely together, especially once we get all of the components for this area in place. Like right here where we have this gap here with our lemon coral sedums, level it out a bit. I think maybe like right there, we'll see. This ensemble together, I kind of think we're doing an injustice by not taking this container right here and kind of bumping it maybe to like right here in front of this bench here. So I think that would be our best option, just to move it over just a little bit more. One, we have the super petunias right here, so they're still going to need sunlight. It's bad enough that they're not in full sun. If they were in full sun, they would definitely be doing their thing. They are draping all the way down to the ground here, so I don't want to block any sunlight here. And I kind of want to accent the fact that if we take it and we bump it right to this area right here in front of this bench here, I think it'll give us the perfect opportunity that we need. By doing it that way, our super petunias can still show through right here, and we'll put the pot right here, kind of like right here in this area, lined up exactly with the leg of this bench right here. So let's get it moved over. So that takes the trio and moves it back this way, but I'm really not satisfied with this. I think what we're going to do, we're going to take it from this area right here over to this side right here. That way we can kind of build on our situation over here in this area. Now the only thing we have to do is kind of just bump this container out the way and just move that right across over here in this area. So I'll move this container kind of like right here. Perfect. Right there. By the time we ended up getting everything together, it was pretty much time for me to call it quits. I wanted to make sure that I got the perfect site for my containers here, but I'm really still not satisfied with them. I'll see how everything looks once we go in and plant it up. But for right now, my hydrangea trees, my lime lights are kind of suffering. We're in the middle of a heat advice. I have to equip them pretty much for this extreme heat that we're going to have over the next 3 days. This is typically how I water my plants over here in this area. These are not set up on drip tubing. You can see how much water I'm putting in these hydrangeas. And so I don't come out here and I don't water these every single day. I water these maybe once every 2 weeks because they are established. If I were planting up a brand new hydrangea tree, I would be watering them every day. That way they're able to acclimate well. Definitely wouldn't be giving them this much water. So this is going to hydrate. This is going to make sure that it's able to make it through the heat wave that we're having today, and everything will be fine. So while I'm watering my hydrangea trees, then what I like to do is I like to water my containers in this area as well. And so I kind of will let the water hose just kind of like rest in there and get to the point where I like to keep it at. So I'll go in and I'll just dump this inside of this container here. Give it about a gallon. Now these I don't water once every 2 weeks. They wouldn't survive, not here in St. Louis. But I'll give them this whole gallon of water. So I'll just let this pour in. Now this is at the point where I'll take my water hose out. I put it on the inside of the can and get ready to water in my next hydrangea. I'm going to move this out the way. And what I'll do, I'll go ahead, set this in here real quick, and I'll water in. I just like to come in, just saturate it really, really well. Hey, it's just me, so I have to make the most of my time, especially now that my son, he's at university, he's in college, so therefore he's not able to give me the amount of time that he could give me while he was on his break. We have one more hydrangea tree that we need to get watered in. We have 2 more of the big containers here, and then of course the fountain. This fountain is toast. Absolute toast. So I'll go ahead, I'll let this get watered in. And I'll pop this inside of this container right here. I'll let that fill up, and I will go ahead and I'll water in this container, 1 full gallon. And they really need to be hit with fertilizer, but since I didn't water yesterday, I'm going to fertilize on a different day, which will preferably be tomorrow. So typically this is how fast it goes. While I'm filling up the watering can, then I go ahead and I water a different hydrangea. So we have 1 more container that we need to hit. I'll water this in. And this is the container that took the hit. Remember, you guys? All right, so now let's go get the water hose out. Right, so this could stand to use a little bit more water, just a little bit more. But keep in mind that in between me pulling out the water hose, that water is draining back through. And I know you may be thinking this is a ton of water for one plant. Absolutely, it absolutely is. All right, we're good now. A little bit more. All right, now this is actually perfect. We have the hydrangea tree all watered in, actually all 6 of the hydrangea trees over here in this area. So what I want to do now is we're going to plant up the containers that's going to be over here, and we're going to use some beautiful fall plants. Let's go get the soil. We'll start filling these up, and I think we'll plant the biggest one up in its place. That way we don't have to be tugging with it. Have been to every location that I normally would keep bags of soil at, and the one thing and the one place we forgot to go was to go and get some soil. So we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna pivot a little bit. Now, it's no secret that I talk about oftentimes how when you're doing containers, when you're container gardening, you don't necessarily have to buy new soil. And so what I mean by that is I'm gonna show you best. There is a container out there in that grouping of containers. It was full of soil from my spring display. I'm going to use that container, and then in addition to that, we're also going to come in because it's over 100 degrees right now. And so we're going to head outside, get the containers, plant them up, and then the soil that I put into the larger container, I believe I can take that soil and split those up between the 2 smaller planters that we're going to plant up. We have some beautiful plants that we're going to be using, and these creations that we're going to do, they're going to be very simple to whereas you can repeat these yourself. So let's go get the containers. Okay, so I have the first container in here. So same container, soil rather, from last spring. I am going to just work it in a little bit, and then from there I am going to come in and just add some fertilizer to it. All right, so now we'll start building a container. So you guys have seen the mums because we went shopping for the mums. We also picked up the pansies today, so you guys were able to see the pansy that we were looking for. The mums who went shopping for in a different video. But look at these gorgeous beauties right here, honey. Yes. Woo, yes. These are the type of cabbages that we're going to be putting in our gardens for this fall. Yes, honey. Yes, while I love a good traditional cabbage, that look is awesome. But if you want to elevate and take it to the next step and not have your garden look be demure, then elevate and use these beautiful cabbages right here. I'm going to start out by using this first cabbage here. And oftentimes, they're like root bound. Can you see that? Very much so. So we're going to take that off. Take off anything that doesn't look attractive, where the color is starting to fade. Just go ahead and just pop it on off. And what I love about these cabbages is they will continue to get bigger as they are in your container. So that's our first official cabbage inside of this planter. Then we're going to use a mum. Let's use this one because this one looks, I like the shape of that one. This is our look so far. Another mum. We have another cabbage, and again, the same thing with the root. So we're just going to take off that bottom layer of root there. And cabbages are notorious for having tight roots. All right, now you see this? We're going to go in with a chrysanthemum, a florellum. That way it's going to change the texture, it's going to change the vibe. It's gorgeous. Baby, we got one problem. The container is gorgeous, but I done packed so many plants in this thing. How we gonna get it down? How we gonna get it down? So I'm totally obsessed with this look here, and I want to talk about the components that we did because we definitely pivoted. I definitely added more components than you all knew were going to go in this container. So we have our mums, we have our cabbages. I came in with the florellum, but just up underneath the undercarriage of the cabbage, I have went in and we have just ever so softly tucked in a beautiful viola that we picked out together. Now this mixed container is absolutely gorgeous, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll get it down, and we'll move on to the next container. One down, two more to go. I don't know, child. Okay, let me give myself some space. You gotta have them strong knees, baby. We're gonna get the table cleaned off here, and we'll start composing our next arrangement, which is the other two are gonna be simple, very, very simple, because we have so much going on with the first container. That's where we went in, we put all the pomp and the circumstance, so for the rest of the two, they're really just a supporting act. All right, so two beautiful containers here. So first things first, in the bottom of the holes, including the bigger container that we just did, I always come in with a piece of window screen. That way we keep our soil in and the water flows right out, and we're spared having to refill our soil back. You will get some erosion, but not as much. I got a row of window screen here, and actually last year, I think it was last year, my neighbor, he was throwing out a door, and it was actually a screen, and I dashed over there so fast and he cut the screen out for me. I don't think you all probably I believe you all have the best neighbors. Don't get me wrong. But baby, when I tell you my neighbors are absolutely amazing, they are so amazing. All right, so this just goes in the bottom here. Now, one would think that we're going to take this mom and plop it inside of this container. That's gorgeous, but that's so cliche, right? We'll take our mom, we'll pop this baby out and put it right in our container here. And I want to sink this a little bit more. I want to sink it. And I know put it in the shovel right here. Because I want the lip to kiss the mom a little bit deeper. So I want to sink it down on the inside, and then we'll backfill with our soil. And we have limited soil because I didn't pick up the soil that we were supposed to be using. All right, so now in this container, we're going to have some beautiful violas in this container here. All three containers are planted up. We are going to get them in their place, but because the sun is still beaming down, we are in the middle of a heat wave. What we're going to do is we're going to work on the fountain. I'm not sure if you were able to capture a view of the fountain. The fountain is not running because the water reservoir has went down. So one of the things that you want to look for in pumps, if you're not going to have like an instantaneous refill, what you want to look for is you want to look for a fountain pump that once your water reservoir gets below a certain level, then it automatically cuts out. It's going to save you a ton of money when it comes to buying new fountain pumps because they burn out when they don't have that safety feature in. We're going to go out. I'm going to show you all how I treat my fountains, what I use for them. And by the time we finish filling the fountain up, the sun should have switched to where we can put the containers in place, and you'll be able to have a good close-up look of what these containers look like. I'm so excited about this collection, you all, and I just love that my fall colors are still playing nicely with my summer containers. Go ahead and start working on the fountain. Hey, yes, honey. Now this mixed container, the mixed container right here, baby, is hitting. This is the fountain that we're going to be working on. I do have several fountains in my garden. Now with this fountain, I love it. My boys actually got this for me for Mother's Day. I was super excited and I felt so loved, so appreciated, honey. And I didn't want to do nothing else that day except for get my fountain installed. Beautiful memory. But for this fountain, we're going to get up and close. We are going to get up and close, and I'm going to have to show you what it looked like. Now, let me tell you. Clutch your pearls, okay? Hold your hand up, call for the Lord, or whatever you do to comfort you in those intense moments of, oh, no, you lying, that type of situation. So I'm going to show you what it looks like because I like to show you all the real deal over here. Let's get in and take a look. This is what the water looks like up close. Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. Don't grab your pearls. This is what it looks like. It will take us no time to actually clean this out, get rid of the debris that's in here, and I'm not going to pour this water out. It's not needed. What I'm going to do is I am going to use my secret weapon here, and I want to show you what it looks like on all sides here. So right now I'm just doing really just a simple touch up, which this touch up should have been done probably last week. Show you the chemicals that I use for all of my fountains here. I will go ahead and link this on my Amazon store. We're going to use this Fountech. It's an aldehyde as well as a clarifier. You can use it in fountains, bird baths, tabletops, as well as water gardens. So we're going to go in, it doesn't take much, and we're just going to add a few drips. That's it. Behind the scenes. I'm going to try to just use a little bit of bleach. Okay, there we go. That's all we need with the bleach. Immediately, once you put that bleach in there, baby, you see how that water gets to dissipating, honey? See how it starts to stretch out? Yes. All right, so now we got all of our products in there. The only thing that is left to do is to go ahead and get some water inside of there. Oh, wait. Thing I am going to do, I'm going to come in just to get whatever vegetation out of here, because once we fill this fountain up, it's going to push everything to the pump, and we don't want that. get that excess water off of there. I watered these in very thoroughly, and I wanted to make sure that I had them in their places before I watered them in, because I knew I was going to go in and literally just saturate these root balls. I am going to go ahead and give it the rest of this, because a lot of these plants, the mums, they like water. You want to keep your mums well hydrated. We're pretty much done in this area. The containers, I absolutely love the containers, and they look good. I'm excited about them. I got my fountain up and running. Now, the water is a lot clearer than what it was. It will take it a little while in order for the water to cycle through. I'm not going to add any more of the the Fountech, or any more bleach to the water, because it will self-correct itself as the water continues to flow through. And I'm totally excited about this. We are going to continue to build on our summer colors. We're going to be using our summer colors, and we're going to transition this area to fall, and that in turn is going to save us money versus having to come in, pull everything out, and start with a blank slate. I do that in certain areas in my garden, but for this area, I wanted to show you all how easily you can transition your gardens from your summer look into your fall with incorporating the current plants that you have, especially if you choose plants at the start of the season that will move effortlessly into fall.